Hey there, Cole. Hope you're having a great trip. Looking forward to seeing you back in the studio and busting your chops here. As your video lesson for today, 5 things I want to talk about because you sent me 5 videos. I'll go down the list and give my comments, and if you have questions at the end when we look at anything, feel free to have your mom or dad shoot me over a message. So cool, let's get to it. So first thing is, thank you for playing NIB again for me. It's been so long. I have my notes over here and I never got to clear out NIB, but I'm glad you played it for me because there's something important in there that we need to talk about, which is we talked about, you did it later in the later videos that I watched, so I know we discussed it, which is anchoring the hand. When you played, that's it. Right, your hand was doing a whole lot of this, so I can swing around. If you look at me, right here, right, I'm anchored here, and I'm kind of like right about here on the screw on my guitar, and it's not moving so fast that you need to alternate pick it, but look at my hand right here. So my thumb is, I want to talk more about this in a minute, but thumb is relaxed, my pick is angled, so I'm not doing this. You're a little bit high up, and what that's causing you to do is kind of punch this thumb knuckle out right here, and you're almost coming like parallel, you're almost coming like, was that, like perpendicular to the string, I would say, is that right? I sucked at math, so I didn't get very good grades in there, so you have to figure out if I'm saying the right word or not. But I'm saying you should be level with the string. So if you're trying to do like this right here, up too high, it's gonna look like this, it's gonna get scratchy sound, or it's gonna be harder to reach for everything. So get anchored to the body of the guitar. Notice where mine is right here. I'm back here where the screw is. Thereabouts. Hammer. And you did much better. It's getting there, man. It's almost there. So don't float the hand. Anchor the wrist to that riff. Slow her down. If you came to my house and watched me practice during the day, you'd be bored to tears because everything's really slow a lot of times with the metronome and very detail-oriented, playing things many, many times and looking at the details. Cool. So number 2 is Girls Got Rhythm. We can never have too much AC/DC around here. And cool. So first thing is the setup of the riff. Don't let yourself get ready to play the song first. Don't just like, oh, okay, it's time to play the song, and then run into it because you'll make silly mistakes. Remember that it's the power chords first. That's it. We haven't done that part yet, but let's just keep this right here first. That's a hammer on. Make sure to hammer that note. The same way that... That's why I wanted you to work on the song after we did NIB and Highway to Hell, which we'll come back to again. We'll just do that when you get back in next time. Is that hammer on pentatonic riff kind of thing with 1-3 happening right here. So the same ideas are happening. So first is power chord D. Practice the transition slow. Don't just throw your hand at it, and if you do it enough times, you'll get it. Slow it down, man. I do the same thing. If you came, like I said, you came to my office at home, watch me practice the Mozart variations this morning, you would have heard the Presto movement very slow, the fast movement very slow, because I have to make sure I do all the mechanical things correctly. If I can't do them slow, what makes you think I can do them fast? So slow, slow, hammer. Da, da, da. What I do a lot of times is to get the song in my ear, I sing this stuff, right? Bum, da, 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 da. That helps me play it smoother. If I just think of it as like a dexterity, if I think of like playing a video game, if I just do the movement correctly, yeah, I might get the movement down, but it won't have a musical feel to it. So this is not like video games where if I do the twitches right, I'll beat the level. This is not video game guitar. I've had students before go think this is video game guitar. It's like if I just play the right notes in order in the right time, it's gonna work out. You have to sing this stuff. You have to hum it at least. Don't get to sing, you hum it. Go horizontal with my elbow. It goes in. Turn the wrist. Turn the forearm. And then practice this. One hard thing at a time. Don't try to do 2 hard things at a time. Work on that for me. Box 5 through 1. I like your jumping pattern. It was neat. I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I might incorporate that with some of my other students. It's kind of neat, kind of jumping from like like that kind of stuff is neat. Make sure you're playing the right notes. That's still one thing that we have to sort out or come to terms with, is making sure that we're playing the right notes and slowing down to make sure we're playing the right notes. You had jumped into Dorian pentatonic really briefly when you were playing, and we're just not there yet. We have to talk about the other modal. We have to talk about the major scale first and modal harmony, and transpose the minor pentatonic around a few keys, and we do relative major, relative minor. But we have to do all that before you start playing Dorian pentatonic, which is what you did. So don't do that. So make sure do your riff, your pattern. Some of the best riffs out there were born out of dexterity exercises and pentatonic riff exercises. Say one for a riff that just jumps off the top of my mind. It's like Sweet Child of Mine. That started off as a picking riff, right? For Slash. Dave Matthews' Satellite. That was an exercise that he came up with. Turns into a song. So don't go down that rabbit hole of experimenting, like we're moving the riffs around or moving the boxes around, but make sure that you're playing the right notes every single time. That was the biggest sin in my teacher's eyes, was if I was playing it and then I played a wrong note, he would just immediately stop me. Like, he wouldn't stop for anything else, like say phrasing, he would just let it go. But if it were a wrong note, he would literally stop you in your tracks and go, okay, let's fix that right now. Alternate picking, going back to the same thing I talked about before, being anchored to the guitar. Pick level. You should not be up here like this with an angle pick downward. Relax thumb level, and then practice just on say the top 2 strings first. So on open strings at that. So I would practice. Right, the 3 strings. And then add a 4th string into it, then add a 5th string into it. So don't try to do the whole kit and caboodle the hardest. So you don't want to do over here, but just if you're making mistakes with E minor pentatonic and you throw alternate picking, which you're like just learning, that's doing too many hard things at the same time. Do one thing at a time. Do single downstrokes with E minor pentatonic. Get that really good. And then with your alternate picking, start on 1 string, and then do a 2nd string. And then add those 2 together, and then add a 3rd, and then so on and so forth. But you should not be angling your pick down this way. I'd like your parents to send me, so if you make it this far in the video, have your mom or dad shoot me over a video of you just playing through that, because I want to make sure I want to nip that in the bud right away. I don't want that to go on for too long. So I'm gonna fix that right away. So have your parents send me over something like that. Howl book. Last thing is. Good. I'm glad you're practicing note reading. That's usually when I have to get on people about doing it. You're doing it. I like that. And you're trying real hard, and I like that. Don't try to do the whole song. Also the same thing too. Theme of today. Don't try to do the whole thing. Do like one little phrase. So do like maybe just like the first line of the music, and then count out loud while you do it, because that was the biggest thing. So you're playing the right notes. But say like the tie in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8. Measure 7 to 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? What you have to do is you have to count that out loud. With longer durations, it's actually more difficult. So when I have songs where I have like long held out chords, my counting has to be impeccable. So make sure you're counting out loud while you do that stuff. It's not lame and it's not dorky. All the greats do it. Everybody counts. All the great guitar players count. Work on those 5 things for me, and I will see you next week. Take care.